Hi, Sarah Banas here, Learn to Craft. I'm going to show you something super neat and fun today. People love these. These are money holder cards. So when we're done, the money will be rolled up inside of like a plastic, like what you would get a chapstick in, um, right here. So, and I'll link everything that I use here in the video description. The designer of this card has a ton of really good ones. Everything from, graduation gifts to, for the bus driver at the end of the year for appreciation days to, gas card ones for, you just get a really cute one that says, now you have no excuse but to come visit me. And then, you roll up gas money inside of it. Just a ton of cute ones. So I'll link that in the video description. I'll also link where to get the plastic for the to roll the money up in. I get them right on Amazon. So I'll link that. I'm also going to link in the video description. We have a massive amount of Facebook groups for Cricut, Silhouette, everything that you can imagine for crafts. I'm going to link Cricut and Silhouette for beginners. It's about 200,000 members, super friendly, super knowledgeable. You'll fit right in. So make sure you come join us there. And just real quick to stick this in here, I'm doing this on Cricut Design Space, but you can do this in Silhouette Studio. You can do it in Design Space. It's going to be the exact same process no matter which cutting machine you're using. So I had to pick one, so I picked Design Space. So let me also, when you're looking at the video underneath on YouTube, to get to the video description, there's a down arrow, or else, depending on if you're on mobile or desktop, or it'll say, click here for more. Click that, it'll expand. I'll put the designer shop for the cards so that you can get the cards. I'll put the link to the plastic part, and I'll link the group. Like I said, make sure you join us. So one other thing real quick before we move forward, these are so easy. But let me just say, if this video is of interest to you or helpful, like the video, that helps me out a lot. But also subscribe to my channel. When you're subscribed, you'll get a notification when the new videos come out, probably like 1 or 2 a week. Just lots of great ways, not just to use your Cricut and Silhouette and handcrafting, but also how to design for yourself. So we're partway through a design series right now. There's a ton of good ones coming up that you're not going to want to miss out on. So make sure you do subscribe. You'll get those notifications as they come out. Okay, that all being said, let's get to work here. Oh, hope you enjoyed that extra little text box there. So this is super easy. So the first thing you're going to do is upload the card, right? So we have the card uploaded already. To size something like this, I'm going to put the sizing in the video description just so you have it. You're going to want to, when you resize it, make sure that your this right here, the lock box is locked so it stays in proportion. You can also lock it right here if it's unlocked. But this is the correct sizing right here for the blister packs that I use. So it's going to be 5.239 wide, but then let the height make itself. The height will automatically readjust so it stays in proportion as long as you have that lock box locked, okay? So, but if you're using different blister packs than the ones I link in the video description, the way that you would do that, super easy. You would measure your blister pack, side to side, see how long it is. And then you would take and make yourself a square. I just want to show you for anybody who's not using the same ones, it's super easy. So make yourself a square, make it smaller. And let's say that, your blister pack is 3.5 wide, right? So then you would take that and then you would put that on your card where the blister pack goes, and then just click and resize your card so that that matches up correctly. And that way yours is going to be exactly correct for your blister packs. So, okay, so I don't know why they call them blister packs. It's kind of strange, but that is what the plastic is called, and plastic packaging like that. So let's go ahead and get started. So all we're going to do, we have this all set. Now this one, I think one of them might already have a dollar amount on it because this particular one came with 2. And I just uploaded this one. I think one has like, 25 or some, dollar amount that most people use. But this one was blank and did not have a dollar amount in there. So you can put any dollar amount you want. I went with 50. This font here is called Salty Dish Sans. It's a Missy Meyer font. I'll link that in the video description too. It's one of my favorite sans serifs. I use it often. So, but I mean, really, you could use whatever font that you're most comfortable with that you like. I like this one. So this is all set. It's already sized. Let's get rid of this. Okay, so this is all set. It's already sized. Now, if you have not calibrated your machine, calibration will make sure that when you print then cut, you'll get a good solid cut all the way around and it won't be off. You won't have, white on either side or whatever have you. It'll be a perfect cut. If you haven't calibrated, I'm going to link in the video description a video on how to calibrate. Calibration is super easy, takes a couple of minutes, and it's just really important to getting a good solid print then cut. And one other thing, if you're unfamiliar with how to print then cut and you're adding on that text for the dollar amount, you have to select all. So I'll show you. You can see over here, mine is a single layer. That's because it's flattened. Let me unflatten it. And you'll see this 50 is now a single layer and the card is another layer, right? So I added this layer. What you do to make sure it prints all together like that is you select it all and flatten. And now what'll happen is it will print your card just like this, and it will only cut the outside border of it. That's what flattening does, okay? So now we're going to click on Make It. And that's it. So let me show you a trick real quick if you're not familiar with it. If you often print and you get bad print quality and your prints just don't look vibrant or good, super easy. So go to Continue. And I'm going to show you how to get really good solid print quality. Click Send to Printer. And now what you're going to do is you're going to click on Use System Dialog. Okay. And now click Print. And okay, let me say real quick, I'm going to leave bleed on. So what bleed does is whatever your very, very outermost edges where you're going to cut on, it bleeds just a little bit outside of that. It bleeds that color just a little bit outside of that so that when you cut, if your calibration is not 100% perfect, you won't get any white at all and it'll make it look perfect, even if it's not 100% perfect. With calibration, if you've calibrated it correctly, you should be pretty close. But that just adds an extra layer of protection on there. So I do usually add bleed with things like this. So I've clicked over to Use System Dialog Box. I'm going to click Print. And now here I go. So I'm clicking on my printer that I'm using. That's the printer that I'm using. And then I'm going to click right here, Preferences, okay? And then when you go into Preferences, there's a couple of different things you can change in here to give yourself, if you ever print, just so you know, and it only comes out black and white, you just have to switch it over to color, black and white. It'll change it to grayscale, that's color. Now this is one spot that you can change the quality of your print, okay? So click on Quality, High, okay? This is another spot. The type of paper that you're using, okay? So I leave mine for things like this on Premium Presentation Paper Matte, okay? Obviously, if I'm using, like gloss stickers or something like that, I'll change it at that point. Now, this is the really important part that'll give you the most difference. Click on More Options right here, okay? And right here, oftentimes, high speed is checked, okay? You want to make sure that that is unchecked. That's going to give you the highest quality print for your printer, okay? Click OK, and then click Print. And that's all there is to it. So now I'm going to go to the printer. I'm going to get that print out. So what we're cutting here, and just so that you know, let me just say, I should have said this earlier. What I'm printing on is I am printing on 65-pound Recollections brand cardstock. I like the Recollections brand because it is, first off, it comes in a massive amount of super vibrant colors. This one that we're using, I just have to go down. I have to go over to my printer and it's got it on. That's fine. So what I was saying is that the Recollections brand, the 65-pound, and comes in a ton of colors. This one we're just using white, but if you're doing other cardstock projects, they have a ton of super vibrant colors. But the nice thing about this cardstock is that not only is it nice and sturdy and the machine can handle it and your printer can handle it, almost all inkjets can handle 65-pound cardstock. But beyond that, it's not as fibrous as most, like when you're using construction paper, it's super fibrous. This is not This doesn't have that fibrousness to it like a lot of cardstock does. So not only is it not going to gum up your mats, but it's going to cut nice and clean, and it's not going to have ragged edges. So that's a really good tip. I've been at this for years, and it is the absolute best that I found. You can get it at Michael's. You can also get it on Amazon. I'll link in the video description the one that I use from Amazon. Well, the one that I'm using here from Amazon. Okay. So let's go ahead. Let's just click on, I don't click light cardstock, even when I'm doing super basic cuts like this. What I have found works the best is the intricate cut cardstock for intricate cuts. That works well with the 65-pound recollection, so that's what I use. Leave pressure on default, and that's it. So now let's go ahead. We'll get this printed. We'll get it loaded onto our mat, and we'll get it put into our machine. Okay. Okay, so here we are. We're back at the machine. You can see it's ready to go. You can see it blinking right here. So this is what you're going to need. Thing of regular Elmer's school glue, white glue, the blister pack. Again, I will link that in the video description. And one thing real quick, when I was printing, I realized that the number was incorrect on the sizing. I don't know what I did wrong there. I think I measured the blister pack incorrectly. But anyways, it's 4.9 is the width, and I'll put the correct width in the video description. So you need blister pack, glue. I need scissors for what I'm doing. You need your bill, and then you need this, okay? So what you're gonna do, this is all set to cut. I'm gonna load it onto my mat. Now when you load this onto your mat, you're gonna wanna load it square to the corner, okay? So, kind of running short on room here with the Cricut in the middle of my craft desk, but that's okay. So you're going to load it so that it's as square to the corner as you can get it. That's what's going to get you the best cut. You got to be careful if you get it down wrong when you're picking it up that you don't curl your paper. It's just a little bit off. Kind of a perfectionist when it comes to this. You know, I'm gonna turn this just a little bit so that I can get in there just a little bit better. There we go. That'll get me better access. Okay. So get that right square to that corner. Run it right down. Oh, I'm having such a hard time tonight. It really is important that you take the extra time to get this part correct, though. Getting that square will make a difference in the quality of your cut. That's okay. That's square enough. With the bleed on, that'll be just fine. So pop this back open. Oops. What did I do here? Okay, and then load the mat. Let it suck in. And then press the flashing C. And now it's going to read the outside registration lines to make sure that it cuts correctly. Now, while that's actually working, let's go ahead and roll our bill. So you're going to want to roll it from the bottom side so that your face side is up. You can use, now I tried to use I can't think what it's called, a quilling machine, like an electronic quilling machine I have. That didn't work so well. I think it's because the depth of the bill is so high that it just kind of crinkled it. So it's better just either hand roll it or get yourself a, give it a second, get yourself a bobby pin if hand rolling it is too difficult, and that'll work also. Just pop the bobby pin on the inside and turn it. Now my roll here is kind of tight. You can see how tight that is. You don't want it quite that tight. You gotta kind of let it, kind of mash it down so it's nice and even. And then let it loosen up just a little bit. You want it to be a nice, not too fat, but a nice roll that fits inside of there. So kind of just let it loose little by little. Actually, you know what? I can almost even let it totally loose. I can almost let it just open up as much as it will. Not quite that much, but just about. Yeah, actually, I might even be able to let it open up all the way. Yep, if I let it open up all the way, that'll actually be just about perfect in there. So just like that. So yep, so you can actually just let it open up as much as it will. So roll it tight and then let it open up as much as it will. You want to kind of position it so that that dollar bill amount is on the outside. So this is done. We can unload this. And you can see because of that, I put that bleed on there. See how it cut right inside of there? See how there's a little bit left on the outside? Now, when you're lifting this, again, you don't want to curl your paper. So don't pull it forward. That'll curl it. Kind of lift it. Lift it and bend your mat. Even if you have to, like, get right up underneath there. And you're kind of pulling it. You're kind of pulling it up from the mat. Sticking your finger underneath there to kind of break that seal. Especially if you have, I used a newer mat. I would normally use a mat that was a little less sticky, but you see how I didn't curl that? If I had just pulled it up, it would be just curled. Okay. Okay, so this is the easy part. Okay, so now all you want to do, you want to be careful that you don't get glue on your bill itself. So just get a little bit of, I think that this is easier putting it on here than it would be to put it on here, because I think that you would kind of end up with it a little bit off. And make sure you're not getting it on the inside because you don't want the bill to get stuck to it. So you're just putting it on that very lip, right? Just get it right on that lip. And this glue is plenty tacky enough. This is, and you don't need a ton, just a real light greasing of it. And even if you're not putting it all the way up to the edge, if you're just kind of getting it almost to the edge, because you don't need this to be like super duper like tacky, right? I mean, you don't want the person to have to struggle to open it. They should be able to get it off there, but it won't fall off on its own. So, okay, just keep rubbing it until you get it kind of tacky, and that should be plenty. Just wipe my fingers off here real quick. You don't want to get any of that residue on the outside of this. And now, when you go to put it on there, because you don't want your bill to flip out of there, so kind of just hold it like this and kind of center that right on there. Okay, and then it's a little bit high. Pop that down, just like that. Oops, I shimmied it just a little bit, but that's okay. And then just make sure that you're flattening it on there really good so that you're sure you're getting a solid bond. And kind of hold it for a second. Kind of hold it down for a second and let it kind of adhere a little bit. And it's really all there is to it. These are super easy. People absolutely love them. Just want to make sure I get a good solid bond here. And what a fun thing. We all know what a hassle it is to try to find the perfect gift, especially for adults. You know, I mean, everyone has everything these days. So, you know, I mean, just, I don't know, cash is easier. And who wants to just give somebody cash in a card? Or, you know, it's just fun. It's just a fun way to gift that present. So, I mean, that's really all there is to it. So that's it. How cute is that? So, I mean, if you have any questions at all, you know, feel free to ask them underneath the video here on YouTube, or better yet, join me in the group. I'm always there. You're always welcome to, you know, ask me any questions you have about anything, not just this project. I'll link in the video description this designer shop. She's got tons of really good ones. So I'll link her shop. I will link, I'll link the cardstock that I used. I'll link the these plastic blister packs. I will link, I will let you know that these particular ones are available in the U.S. Unfortunately, our Canadian and other country friends, they have had not been able to get this particular pack. It says unavailable when they click the link. They are totally available in the U.S., just outside of the U.S., unfortunately, you would have to search and find them elsewhere. So anyways, makecanada.ca, or I'm sorry, amazon.ca, maybe if you search blister packs, maybe plastic blister packs, or something to that effect, maybe you'll find them. But I mean, that's about it. And make sure you do join us on Facebook. I'll link that in the video description. And I hope you have a good day. Bye.